It is raining outside right now, or it will be soon, and when it is, you will probably do one of a few things. You will stay inside, you will watch something, you will make something warm to drink, you will feel a particular kind of stillness that rainy days seem to produce, and is one of the oldest things your nervous system knows how to do. The real answer to what ancient humans did on a rainy day is far stranger than simply staying dry. First, consider what rain meant. For most of human prehistory, rain was not an inconvenience to be managed with an umbrella or a weather app. It was one of the most consequential events in a hunter-gatherer's world. Rain changed everything. It changed where animals would be. It changed what plants were doing. It changed the safety of rivers, the passability of terrain, the condition of food stores. A rainy day was not a pause in life. It was information. And ancient humans, whose survival depended on reading their environment with extraordinary precision, would have responded to rain the way a modern navigator responds to a sudden shift in wind. With attention. With adaptation. With purpose. But here is where the story becomes more intimate. Archaeological evidence from ancient campsites, rock shelters, and cave systems suggests that rain drove ancient humans indoors in a very particular way. Not just for shelter from the wet, but into concentrated, close-contact social environments that appear to have been extraordinarily productive. Anthropologist Polly Wiesner, whose work on the Juhoansi people of the Kalahari has become a touchstone in understanding prehistoric social behavior, found something compelling in her observations of how hunter-gatherer groups behave differently in confined, weather-driven settings. When people are pushed together by rain and forced to share a small covered space with limited visibility outside, their behavior shifts in predictable and ancient-looking ways. They talk more. They sing. They resolve disputes that had been left hanging. The rainy day, across multiple cultures studied by anthropologists, functions as a kind of social compression event. Think about the fire for a moment. In rock shelter sites across Africa, Europe, and Asia, archaeologists have found consistent evidence of fire use concentrated in the deeper, more protected areas of shelters, the places where groups would retreat during wet weather. The fire was not just for warmth. It was the center of an entire social ecosystem. Light in the darkness, heat for cooking, a focal point around which people gathered, and around which the particular kind of conversation that happens at night, or in the gray enclosed light of a rainy day, became possible. Researcher Francesco D'Erico at the University of Bordeaux has spent years analyzing the material culture found in these ancient shelter sites, the tools, the pigments, the worked bones and shells, and has noted something striking. Many of the most intricate objects, the ones that show the most evidence of extended, careful craftsmanship, appear to have been worked on inside shelters, in conditions that match exactly what a long rainy period would produce. Ancient humans, confined by weather and firelight, made things, not just useful things, but beautiful things. Decorated things. There is a physiological dimension to this that connects the ancient rainy day to something you feel right now when the sky goes gray. Rain triggers a distinct sensory signature. The sound, called white noise by modern acoustic researchers but known to human nervous systems for hundreds of thousands of years before the term was coined, has measurable calming effects on the brain. It reduces the cortical arousal that keeps humans alert and scanning, and shifts the nervous system toward a more relaxed, internally focused state. There is evidence that this response is deep and old, that the sound of rain activates something more fundamental than cultural association. Petrichor, the smell of rain on dry earth, produced by a compound called geosmin released by soil bacteria, triggers responses in the human brain associated with relief and calm. Some researchers have proposed that this response evolved because rain historically meant water, which meant survival, and the smell that preceded or accompanied rain became a deeply rewarding signal. You are not imagining it. The good feeling rain gives you is real, and it is ancient. So what were ancient humans actually doing while the rain fell? They were doing what humans do when you remove the distractions of movement and the demands of hunting and foraging and walking long distances. They were being together. They were using their hands. They were using their voices. They were watching each other and learning from each other in the close quarters way that transmission of knowledge works best. Evolutionary anthropologist Kim Sterolny at Australian National University has argued that the spread of cultural knowledge and skill across early human populations depended heavily on exactly these kinds of compressed social learning environments. A rainy day around a fire, with nothing else to do and nowhere else to be, was not downtime. It was the classroom in which skills were passed on, stories were refined, relationships were negotiated, and the social fabric that held groups together was repaired and strengthened. You feel the pull of this even now. On a rainy day, you want to be close to something. A fire, a warm drink, a person, a story. You want to make something or learn something or talk about something that matters. These are not modern preferences shaped by streaming services and coffee culture. They are ancient instincts firing in a nervous system that remembers, at some level it cannot name, what rain has always meant. It meant everyone is here. It meant there is nowhere to go. It meant now is the time for the things that do not happen when the sun is up and the world is open and everyone is moving. The next time rain keeps you inside and you feel that particular quiet shift in your day, that slowing down, that reaching for something warm and settling and close to something familiar, you are doing something your ancestors did in rock shelters 100,000 years ago. They did not waste rainy days. They made the most important parts of being human inside them.